So as a tenant, when you're looking for a property, there's a lot of things that you need to think about that you may not be educated on. One is great, you're going to go through this process. I recently had somebody call me. They tried to put an application fee down on a property, and they were told that they could only provide cash, which is unusual in our business. We don't take a lot of cash in our business, but if you do, you tend to get a receipt. Well, this individual gave an application fee, received no receipt, and then did not get the property. So $50 may not seem like a lot, but if you do that 10 times, that's $500. Times 3 people, that's $1,500. So you need to know what questions to ask when you are looking for a property. You want to make sure you're only going to pay an application fee if that property is available. When you get ready to move into a property and you sign a lease, you want to make sure that you get great photos of that property. Not only do we need photos for an owner, you need photos as a tenant or video, because you don't want to get charged for things that you didn't do with regards to damage to a property. So I've had people call me over the years, friends that have rented properties, and told me, hey, this company's not giving me my deposit back. But because they took the photos and they documented the way I told them to, they were able to go to small claims court and beat big management companies and get their funds back. So as a tenant, couple things. You need to make sure your funds are being held in an escrow account, and that's listed in your lease. You want to know where your money's being held. You want to make sure that you're legitimately paying the owner or a management company that has authority to rent a property, because unfortunately, we've seen people advertise properties that they have nothing to do with it, and then they get people to give them a deposit, but they don't own that property. They're essentially stealing money. So you need to make sure whoever you're dealing with is legitimate and that they literally have the right to manage that property. And then once you're in the property, you need to make sure you understand what your timelines are. Because if you're 1 day late, that could be a substantial amount of money in late fees. And if you don't pay consistently on time, you could face eviction, somebody reporting you to a credit agency. So all of that can affect your credit score and your ability to rent in the future and or buy. So as a tenant, it's really important to ask a lot of questions, but the most important things are, I think you need to take pictures of the property. You need to have a checklist of moving in that says if there's damage to anything or any imperfections whatsoever. And then when you're in the property, make sure you clean out the condensation lines on a monthly basis and clean your air conditioning filters. Those things back up, flood homes, create a lot of damage, and you personally could be liable for that. So it's just little things that you need to understand in the process of leasing a home. And if you ask those questions and make sure your funds are protected, you'll be in a great place.